What if cinema's most meticulous director set out to capture the life of history's most ambitious conqueror? What if his vision was so vast, so audacious, that Hollywood itself backed away in fear? This is the story of Stanley Kubrick's Napoleon, the greatest film never made. Stanley Kubrick, the architect of cinematic milestones like 2001, A Space Odyssey and The Shining, was obsessed with Napoleon Bonaparte. To Kubrick, Napoleon wasn't just a general, he was the perfect subject for a film about genius, power, and inevitable downfall. In the late 1960s, with his reputation soaring, Kubrick declared he would create nothing less than the definitive film on Napoleon's life. Kubrick called it, quite simply, the greatest movie ever made. He envisioned sweeping battles, intimate love affairs, and the fragile psychology of a man whose ambitions reached further than the stars. He believed that only cinema, grand, immersive cinema, could truly capture the contradictions of Napoleon, visionary and tyrant, lover and destroyer. To prepare, Kubrick consumed Napoleon's world with almost frightening intensity. He built a card index with over 25,000 notes detailing the smallest events of Napoleon's life. Every dinner he ate, every letter he wrote, every movement of his armies was catalogued. He wanted absolute control so that when the camera rolled, not a single frame would be inaccurate. He planned to shoot vast battle sequences using natural light, just as he had revolutionized candlelight cinematography in Barry Lyndon. He wanted realism so total that the audience would feel they were marching with Napoleon's soldiers, smelling the gunpowder, hearing the clash of sabers, and seeing history unfold in front of them as if for the first time. To achieve this, Kubrick arranged an extraordinary deal with the Romanian army. They agreed to lend him up to 40,000 soldiers to serve as extras, each drilled to march, fight, and die on command for the camera. No director in history had ever commanded such resources. It wasn't just a film, it was an empire of filmmaking. But Hollywood was terrified. The project's budget spiraled into the millions. Then came disaster. Another Napoleon epic, Waterloo 1970, flopped at the box office. Studio executives panicked. They asked, if audiences had rejected one lavish Napoleon film, why gamble on Kubrick's even riskier dream? Investors pulled out. Backers disappeared. Years of preparation, thousands of photographs, elaborate battle plans, detailed costumes, suddenly seemed worthless. Kubrick, who had always controlled every detail of his productions, watched helplessly as his grand vision slipped away, undone not by artistic failure but by financial fear. And yet the traces remain. Shelves of research, meticulously written scripts, and a breathtaking archive of location photographs, tens of thousands of them, still survive. These fragments are like the ruins of a cinematic empire that never rose, a silent reminder of what might have been the most ambitious historical epic ever attempted. Kubrick's Napoleon became legend. For decades, it has been whispered about in film schools, discussed in hushed tones by directors, and celebrated by critics as the greatest movie never made. It is not just an unfinished project, it is a monument to cinema's eternal struggle between vision and reality. And still, the dream lingers. Steven Spielberg studied Kubrick's research and nearly adapted it for television. Ridley Scott has cited Kubrick's groundwork as inspiration for his own Napoleonic projects. In ways both subtle and grand, Kubrick's ghost continues to march across cinema, influencing films that he never lived to see. The story of Kubrick's Napoleon reminds us of a profound truth, that cinema's power lies not only in the films we see, but in the ones we never get to. The lost projects, the abandoned visions, the dreams too large for the screen. And so we keep searching. Because the magic of cinema isn't just what's projected, it's the hidden stories waiting to be uncovered. Subscribe and join us on the journey.